What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we prepared kind of like a mid-game guide to help all of you guys out there to beat every stage 20 of every dungeon with the same free team, okay? The same champions for every single dungeon. And the good part about them is that they are all free champions. The gear on them is not gonna be crazy. I actually have similar gear or even better on my free-to-play account, and that account is around 4 months old, and I haven't even played that account for the last 1 month. We have the Forge that actually helps us with gear a lot. We can get such amazing pieces of gear from the Forge. But quickly, we're gonna talk about some champions. We got a lot of free champions recently, okay? We had a lot of promotions in game with Ninja, with Simple. The only bad part about that is that those champions, they are not permanent for the grab, okay? So the events, they actually expire. But if we're going at the daily login rewards, starting on day 30, you have a High Katoon, pretty solid champion. Definitely consider in building her. She's awesome for arena, awesome for dungeons. If you're gonna scroll a bit down, day 180, okay? So this is not gonna be a guide. You just started the game today and you wanna kill everything. You wanna destroy the entire game. This game is not a sprint. The faster you understand this, the better will be for your progression. This is a marathon and you gotta be a patient person, especially if you're a free-to-play player and you're limited on the resources that you're using daily. If we're having a look at Seal of the Drakes, man, she is one of those champions that is a must build, okay? She is such a powerful champion, an amazing carry. She's gonna be the biggest carry you're gonna get probably if you're a free-to-play. Stun, decrease speed, heals, ally protection, revive, just so much stuff coming out of her kit. So she's gonna be one of the champions we're gonna use today. If you're gonna scroll down, day 240, you have Grush the Mangler, okay? Very powerful champion too. You have Leech on the A1 to help and sustain the team. Attack down or decrease crit damage, AoE. And you have AoE attack on the A3 and continuous heal. So deals good damage and sustains the team. That's kind of like the main idea. Plus that decrease attack is going to be very, very important. And he's an epic champion, easier to book. Day 270, man, you have V6, okay? She is out of this world. That's how good she is for progression. She's the second free legendary you're gonna get from the daily login rewards. So if we're looking right here, V6 on the A1, double hit, decreases the turn meter. You have decreased speed, ally protection, provoke. She's just amazing. She's gonna carry your team. I have her on the free-to-play account. I managed to pull her from a shard earlier, and man, she completely changed the account. I gotta tell you that. So if we're gonna have a look at different champions, that's kind of like what we're gonna use from the daily login champions, 3 of them. If we're gonna go straight to the portal right here, guys, we have a permanent fusion, Broadma, okay? It's pretty easy to fuse him. You can fuse 2 of these champions from uncommons, and you can buy fragments for these 2 from the bazaar by playing 3v3 arena. So it probably is gonna take you a couple of months to be able to fuse this champion once you started the game. And it's pretty normal to start hitting the high stages of the dungeons like 2, 3 to 4 months in. So earlier than that, mainly if you pull some crazy champions from shards, you're super lucky, or if you decide to spend money and speed up your progression, you know. But Broadma, he has freeze on the A1, increased crit rate, increased speed, boost turn meter on the A2, and we have revive with block damage on them for 1 turn. So a pretty good champion to pair with Seal of the Drakes. Having 2 revivers will guarantee that your dungeon runs will be 100% win rate. Very important, you don't want to waste energy. So that's one champion. If you are 3-4 months in, you're farming the Doom Tower. So by now, slowly, you should be getting pretty close to pick up this free champion from Fragments, Archmage Helmet. This again, another game-changing champion. Fills the turn meter right here. You have a stun. Right here you have increased speed, crit rate, crit damage. He's immune to turn meter effects, and you have a speed aura for all battles. Another amazing champion to use in your team. Now I kind of gave you a few examples of free champions that you are able to get early on. In the first 4, 5, 6 months of playing the game, you're going to be able to get a bunch of awesome champions. But if we're going to go all the way to our champions, guys, so I specify we have in-game promotions with big content creators where they actually get their own characters in-game, okay? they're definitely not coming to an end. We had 2 so far. This one right here is the most recent one. It's currently still running, January 2022, but it's gonna end in a couple of weeks or something like that. He's a decent champion. You have AoE defense down, so definitely you can use the champion if you want. A bit of damage. You have a accuracy aura for all battles. And Ninja was part of a different promotion in August, September last year. You are not able to get this champion anymore. That's why we're not gonna use these 2 champions, because I'm not sure when you are watching this video, I wanna have accurate information for you all year round. But there will be other events during the course of 2022, so definitely keep in mind to use the champions that you are going to receive for free, okay? We do have champions that we can actually farm from campaign, and for example, we're definitely gonna use War Maiden. Since we're not gonna use Simple, who has defense down AoE, we are actually going to use War Maiden for her AoE defense down, She has poisons right here to help us on the dragon, and we have increased attack on this champion. Let's jump over to the dungeons. I'm kind of gonna prioritize the order of the dungeons in the same way I would recommend you to start farming the dungeons in order to achieve a better progression in raid. But if we're gonna go straight to the dragon, that's the first dungeon you wanna farm. The faster you get to stage 20, and it's kind of the easiest dungeon to farm too, the fastest you get here to stage 20, the better your progression will be, okay? So I think I started farming stage 20 on my free-to-play account at around 2 months mark, around there. So if we're gonna go right here, this is the team that we are going to run. Instead of Broadma, probably he's gonna be the only champion I would swap out of here, because we have Seal of the Drakes, who she's just too powerful to remove. Defense down AoE. Army Girl is literally the best champion that comes for free and deals damage based on enemy max HP, okay? So Army Girl, you're gonna be able to pick him from the cheap shards. You can buy him from the market for like a small amount of silver. He's gonna be great all around. We kind of need him. So this team is composed in such a way to help us in every single dungeon. We're not gonna change champions around. This is the team that's gonna beat every single dungeon for us. Now, if we would put V6 instead of Broadma, this will be a walk in the park on every single dungeon, okay? I'm not gonna use V6 because that will make it with 2 legendary champions, and that will mean that you guys gotta wait a bit longer to be able to farm this, and honestly, it's not really needed. You're gonna be able to do it with this. I'll show you the builds on the champions in a minute too. We have AoE defense down. We have a bit of damage from Army Girl. We have a bit of damage from War Maiden, a bit of damage from Grudge the Mangler, and that's about it. Now, the reason I picked Broadma, for example, over High Katoon, which is a champion that you get earlier, is because I have the revive. How I specified, I want to ensure that this team has a 100% win rate on every single dungeon, especially on the Ice Golem. That can be very dangerous. The Spider and the Fire Knight, all 3 of those dungeons are much harder than the Dragon, okay? On the Dragon, we have War Maiden to drop some poisons to help us out when he unlocks his secret skill. We have Broadma to increase the speed, the turn meter, and the crit rate on the rest of the champions. So how you guys can see, Seal of the Drakes can actually deal a bit of damage too if we have higher crit rate on her. So Broadma is definitely helping with that. I always like to run double reviver teams. Like when I was progressing with my main account in the game ages ago, and we were missing so many things. We didn't have so many free champions. We didn't have the forge to be able to get good gear, okay? So we literally had utterly trash gear during that time, because it was like 3 years ago. Was much harder. So I always prefer to run 2 support champions, revivers, just to ensure that my team is gonna run smooth. Some of these stages might take you a few minutes to farm. I'm not gonna go through every single one of them and comment them, because the Fire Knight might take us 6 minutes. The Ice Golem might take us around the same time. So it's definitely not something that I want to keep in the video to make it super long. So I'm going to fast forward some of the runs. But you see, Grudge the Mangler dropping their attack down. Very, very important. If no, some of these bosses, they're going to slaughter us, because my champions are not very tanky. You can look at the HP bars that they have, and they're honestly not insane in terms of builds. My Great Hall is max. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't gave them better builds, just to compensate for it, to kind of make it equal in terms of stats for pretty much every single champion that we have out here, you know. Some of them might get us some weak hits, it's gonna happen, but as long as the revivers are staying strong, we don't have to worry about anything because they're just gonna revive, especially Broadma. When he revives 2 of the dead allies, not 1, with block damage on them, they're not gonna be able to get instantly damaged again, because it's gonna take a while for them to fill their turn meter and take a turn, you know. If we're gonna have Leech, for example, from Grudge the Mangler on the boss, by the time our allies that got revived are gonna take a turn, and a War Master proc from their Masteries, they're gonna get back on full HP. That's why it's so good to have Leech on your team. We're not gonna be able to build every single champion on life still, you know. So it's very, very important to use Grudge the Mangler in here. It's not only for that decreased attack. Now we're actually farming the gear to progress through the game, you know. But this is really a mid-game guide, honestly. You're gonna need to do all this in order to get your Arbiter from the missions and just move on to the next set of missions, which are much, much harder. But hey, it's a marathon. Slowly and surely, you're gonna be able to do it. You just gotta be patient. You gotta make sure you are kind of like splitting your energy, not only on farming champions to level them up and getting masteries, but split it so you can farm some gear too. So it took us 3 minutes to beat stage 20 on the Dragon Slayer, guys. Pretty decent time. Grush with 1 million damage, War Maiden with 1.4, Armiger with 400k, because he got a lot of weak hits, and that's not all. Now the next dungeon I would suggest you to go and farm after you're doing some dragon is definitely gonna be the spider, because you need accessories, okay? So if we're gonna go all the way to the spiders, then we're gonna go on stage 20. One thing that you wanna do here on the team preset, you're gonna wanna go and make sure that Armiger has this set on a first choice. If no, he's always gonna prioritize only his A1 to decrease the turn meter, and you're not gonna have enough damage to kill the boss most probably. So let's give it a go here as well. This is a very tough dungeon. I gotta admit it, it's a very tough dungeon. You will need enemy max HP or HP burn AoE in order to be able to succeed on the spiders then. They're kind of like 2 different strategies that work. Up to a specific stage, you're gonna be able just to go with raw damage and break all the stages, but afterwards, you're literally gonna have to chillax and just go either with enemy max HP, either go in with HP burn, you know. So you're gonna see in a second how important it will be to have all these revives, especially on here. On the dragon, it didn't seem that important because the dungeon is a bit easier. And how important it is to have that leech, you see? If she's gonna take her turn, bang with a War Master proc, she's gonna get back on full HP, or any champion that's gonna get to be on lower HP is gonna be able to do it, you know. We have decreased crit damage, no decreased attack, unfortunately. But Broadma should be reviving anytime soon. Okay, maybe he actually did already and he didn't have it on a cooldown now. You see, he needs to use that A2. If no, he's gonna be in trouble. The spiderlings, they tend to ignore the ally with low HP, that's under 50% HP, and if they have block damage, by the way. So if they have that, the spiderlings won't really go and attack your champion, you know. So we lost her again, it's fine. As long as we have the rest of the champions here to put in the work, we are Gucci. She didn't manage to get a turn to proc a War Master and heal from that leech, unfortunately, which is very important. And this is not taking that long either, honestly. Okay, so we lost them again. See, they're just dying. That's why we have 2 revivers, to put in the work. I feel like the team is much safer. I could bring in V6 instead of Broadma, and this won't happen because she's gonna provoke the spiderlings. We're gonna give them decreased speed, and we're gonna be able to control the Spider Queen more because she has decreased speed and decreased turn meter. So that's definitely going to keep everything under control a bit better. But this is at around 2 to 3 minutes on Spider stage 20, guys. It's definitely an awesome, awesome time. Now I'll take you in the Ice Golem and in the Fire Knight, where I'm just going to fast forward a bit around so you guys can see that they actually work. You see how many times they revive, how many times they are getting clapped. And then I'm going to show you all the stats on the rest of the champions. 500k hit from Armiger is actually pretty decent. It's a free uncommon champion. We only have Coldheart, we have Royal Guard, we have Husk that can do enemy max HP and be efficient on this particular dungeon. Calvalax, I don't think he's very efficient here. I haven't really tried him at all, you know. Okay, what do we have here? Almost dead. Probably we need another good hit from Armiger. 621k this time around. Hell Smasher definitely proc from Masteries now. Okay. I'm curious to see the total damage on Grush and on War Maiden. War Maiden, she died so many times. It's actually ridiculous. Ridiculous how many times she died. And bang, block, revive, 3 minutes and 42. And we got Grush with 4.9 million damage because of all the AoE hits. War Maiden with 1.6, Armiger with 4.1, and Seal of the Drakes with 3.3. That's why having increased crit rate from Broadma is not bad, guys. Let's move over to the next dungeon. We're gonna start the Ice Golem, guys, but I'm literally gonna fast forward this dungeon. And here we are. This one took 4 minutes and 59 seconds on the Ice Golem. You see why Armiger is such a powerful champion here with that block revive. That's why it's essential to have these key champions to work all around for every single dungeon, guys. But we actually got some decent-ish gloves. Moving over to the last dungeon, and that is the Fire Knight. I feel like this takes the longest just because we don't have as many champions that they have multiple hits on the A1. So we're gonna go straight here. Let's give it a go, and the same, we're gonna fast forward this run because I feel like it's gonna take around 6 minutes. And this is done as well. It took 5 minutes and 13 seconds. Grush with 1 million damage, War Maiden with 900k, Armiger with 1.4 and Seal with 500,000. It's all about getting the luck with the decreased speed and decreased thermometer from Seal of the Drakes, not getting weak hits. That's why sometimes it's going to take a bit longer if you're getting a lot of weak hits and stuff, but it's still a decent time when you're starting to farm this dungeon. Especially if you just need to do your 10 runs for the missions to get your Arbiter. Once you replace Broadma, for example, with Arbiter, it's gonna be so much better because of the multi-hits, more thermometer boost and stuff. But let's have a quick look at the champions and their builds. Let's start with the first champion, Seal of the Drakes. Now, probably the best set for her will be a Relentless set. Since you cannot actually farm the set, I decided to go with a Regeneration set. That's the second best option for her in my opinion, and is pretty easy to get it from the Fire Knight. I have on my free-to-play account better build on my V6 and is made on Regeneration as well. Total stats on her, we have 50k HP, 3.7k defense, 236 accuracy, 231 speed. That's pretty much everything that matters. That's the weapon right here. Helmet, shield, HP gauntlet, defense chest piece, speed boots. We have, what do we have? A defense ring, defense amulet, and we have an accuracy banner. In terms of masteries, we have offense and support tree. You definitely want to get sniper. You want to get evil eye to help you with the bosses, cycle of magic, arcane celerity, spirit haste, and on tier 6 war master from the offense tree just to deal more damage on bosses, on waves. Helps you to get through content a bit faster, especially when you're mid-game. The second champion that we have on the list, it should be no one else but Broadma, Void Epic Champion. I have him built on 2 speed set and immortal set. Total stats on him, 57k HP, 2.6k defense, 241 speed, 245 accuracy. That is the weapon. That's the helmet. That's the shield, HP gauntlet, defense chest piece, speed boots. I can't remember the ring. What is the ring? Defense ring. We have an HP amulet, and we have an accuracy banner. In terms of masteries, I actually have support and defense. I have fearsome presence. This was mainly for faction wars to help me CC the waves a bit more. So that's why I have these masteries, but I'm pretty happy with the way they are. I don't think I would switch to War Master on Broadma, honestly. Because he's gonna drop out of your team pretty quick. And since you guys are getting shards, you're opening, you're getting new champions, etc. I'm pretty sure you have a better option already to use instead of Broadma. Maybe you even got a V6 by now, or you have different champions. But definitely, he's the easiest champion to replace from here. If we are moving over to the next champion, and that should be no one else but Grush the Mangler. He is built on a speed set, an accuracy set, and an immortal set. Total stats on him, 44k HP, 3.6k defense, 218 speed, 266 accuracy. That's the weapon right here. That's the helmet. That's the shield. Crit rate gloves, defense chest piece, speed boots. I can't remember the ring, honestly. What do we have? We have a defense ring, crit damage amulet, and we have an accuracy banner. In terms of masteries, tier 6 War Master, and I have the defense tree. I haven't changed the masteries. He was built for clan boss ages ago. So that's Grush the Mangler. Moving over to War Maiden. She's actually on a stun set. She's built like this for my secret rooms in the Doom Tower. Total stats, 35k HP, 2.5k attack, 1.8k defense, 226 speed, 108 crit rate, a bit of an overkill there, 146 crit damage, 280 accuracy, and that's the weapon. Helmet, shield, crit rate gloves, HP chest piece, speed boots. I can't remember the ring, defense again, crit damage amulet, and we have an accuracy banner. In terms of masteries, I have offense and support tree. Tier 6 War Master, again, very important to have Evil Eye. get the rest of the masteries. Sniper, Master, Hexer for the poisons to help you on the dragon. Cycle of Magic to help you to rotate a bit faster. That 8-3 for defense down. And the last champion we have Armiger. Armiger is built on an Immortal, a crit damage, and a crit rate set because I want to get some help to pick up that crit rate to 100% on him, so I need to use that crit rate set. If you're using a champion like Brotma, you already have a crit rate boost, but that's not gonna be on your team constantly, okay? So you gotta keep that in mind. Total stats, 34k HP, 2.5k defense. He is a defense-based champion. 184 speed, 98 crit rate, 200 crit damage, 234 accuracy. Now you only need accuracy for his A1 to decrease the thermometer. You do not need accuracy for this, okay? Whoever tells you need accuracy for this, they clearly do not know what they're talking about. But this is the weapon. This is the helmet, shield, crit damage gloves because we want him to have some crit damage to deal more damage on the bosses. Defense chest piece, speed boots. I would assume we have a defense ring on him. Yes. HP amulet is not even crit damage actually. I didn't realize that. And I have an accuracy banner in terms of masteries. Offense and support tree. I actually have tier 6 Helm Smasher. But if you don't have over 220 plus crit damage or around 100 plus crit damage, consider to get Flawless Execution just to deal a bit of extra damage with this mastery. Now, if you're not able to achieve these builds on your champions, clearly you haven't farmed stage 16 at all and you're trying to skip all that and jump straight to stage 20. I'm afraid you will have to do some farming on the lower stages. I would suggest you stage 16 because you're not gonna get mystery shards and brews from there. That's why it's better to farm stage 16. Do a couple of 100 runs on each dungeon, Spider, Fire Knight, and Dragon, and I can assure you that you will be able to achieve these stats. I know it from own experience. 2022, my free-to-play account can do it without a problem. Plus, you have the Forge, which will give you insane gear if you're using it, of course, and you're doing your Doom Tower daily. You should be able to have this without having any sort of problems. But guys, that was all for this video. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. I will catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.